What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today we are here to take a look at the 2021 BMW X5. The X5, this is an SUV we've all come to know over the past 2 decades. Competitors for the X5 are cars like the Mercedes-Benz GLE or the Audi Q7. Now, I've been getting a ton of requests to take a look at more plug-in hybrids. So this isn't an ordinary traditional BMW X5. This is the BMW X5 xDrive45e, a plug-in hybrid version of the traditional BMW X5. Now, this particular vehicle is finished in an Arctic gray metallic and features a beautiful ivory white leather. As shown, the pricing is around $86,000 with some additional options. Today, let's check out the exterior and the interior details of this X5 hybrid and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. Starting the review at the front of the X5, one thing I noticed is that the hood features quite subtle styling. It's simple, it's not overstyled at all. But coming to the lower front fascia, the design gets way more intricate and more aggressive, quite more aggressive than its competitors such as the GLE in my opinion. Now coming back to the hood, underneath the hood you're going to find a BMW twin power 3-liter inline 6-cylinder power plant in combination with an electronic motor. Combined output is 389 horsepower and 443 pound-foot of torque. Now that eDrive motor is putting out 111 horsepower and 77 pound-foot of torque. Now your range just using that eDrive motor is up to 30 miles. This car also has a top speed on pure electricity of 87 miles per hour. That is quite impressive. Now this setup is hooked up to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 occurs in about 5.3 seconds. So the performance figures are there. It has enough go to make you feel confident when you're accelerating or trying to make a pass. Back to the styling. Of course, you have these large kidney grills that BMW is now known for. I love the chrome accent against the paintwork. I think it jumps out nicely here. And then of course you have LED daytime running lamps and then BMW's laser headlamp technology as well. Overall from the front, I think the X5 looks really aggressive, and I love how it doesn't have certain styling cues that just scream that this is a hybrid. This looks like a traditional X5 to the untrained eye. When it comes to the side profile of this X5, what I love most is how they didn't go out their way to scream, hey, this is a hybrid vehicle, and leave all these green and blue colors all over the side profile of the vehicle. I don't know why a lot of hybrids have to do that. Just let the vehicle be a hybrid and then we'll enjoy the performance and fuel economy from that. We don't need to scream that this vehicle is a hybrid. So this looks like a traditional BMW X5 from the side, with the exception of this panel here that gives you access to your outlet. Now, using a level 2 charger, you can get a full charge within 4 to 5 hours. Adding to the overall aggressive looks, this X5 has been optioned with the M Sport package. That's gonna get you 21-inch M Y-spoke wheels in the front and rear. They're shot in 275 Pirellis up front and 315s in the rear. You also get the M Performance brake package. That's gonna get you the larger rotors and the blue M Sport calipers. I think that looks really nice overall. In addition to that, this vehicle features the shadow line specification. So that's gonna black out your window surrounds, giving it a nice and subtle sinister look. But overall, I like the traditional proportions of this X5 and how it doesn't scream, I'm a hybrid. Let's go ahead and check out the rear. When you take a look at the rear of this vehicle, less is more truly works. There are other hybrids out on the market that have a ton of badges on the rear letting you know that, hey, it's a hybrid. But this looks like a traditional BMW X5. What you have to look out for is this badge here that says 45E. That lets you know what type of X5 this is. But overall, the rear design is fairly clean. Now there is one thing that jumps out at me, and that is this windshield wiper. I wish the designers found a way to hide that underneath this lip where the roofline meets this rear glass. It would have made this car look very clean from the rear as well. But overall, I think the styling is great. Of course, you have LED tail lamps, which you would expect of a vehicle of this caliber. Now, one feature I want to show you is the BMW split tailgate system. Press this button here underneath the BMW symbol. The top portion goes up. Press this button here. This bottom section goes down, and it now can double as a seat. So if you're at an event, you have a seat that goes along with you. Now, there is a con I found to having this split tailgate system. If you have an item all the way in the back, you have to reach over this tailgate to be able to get it. So you have to reach in further to be able to get an item. Now, you could raise this and have a shorter distance, but then you have to carry that item over this ledge, which has been raised. Overall storage in the back, you have 33 cubic feet with the second row seats up. You can drop the second row seats down from the back. That's a nice feature, and that'll give you a total of about 72 cubic feet of storage. Now let's go ahead and close the hatch. One touch lowers the top section and raises the bottom section. They meet nicely in the middle. Kind of reminds you of the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Let's go ahead and check out the interior of this X5. When it comes to the interior of the X5, the first thing I noticed after having this car for a few days is how quiet the vehicle is. The amount of sound insulation that they put in this vehicle truly shines because it gives you a nice, peaceful, and isolated ride away from everything else that surrounds you. It is truly a remarkable vehicle in terms of how quiet the cabin is. Now coming towards the top of the dash, you're getting typical features that you would expect in an X5. Soft touch materials here with stitching going throughout. Coming lower, you have a nice 12.3-inch display screen here. It is lightning fast in terms of how responsive it is. Also features your latest iteration of iDrive, of course. Has all the tech that you would want in terms of your Bluetooth, your Apple CarPlay, and your Android Auto. It's really nice how everything has been organized here, and it's easy to use. Coming lower, you have your air conditioning vents and then traditional buttons for your air conditioning controls as well. So not everything is controlled via the touchscreen if you're not a touchscreen person. But if you do like the touchscreen, that is there. You also have voice commands. You also have gesture control, which allows you to do things like alter the volume by using hand gestures without having to be distracted while driving. That's also nice. You also have controls in the center console here as well. So there's multiple ways of being able to get through the vehicle's infotainment system. And I really like how you're not confined to just using a touchscreen if you're not a touchscreen person. Coming lower, of course, you do have two cup holders, a USB port, wireless charging, of course, and some storage in the center console here. And then, of course, they have a nice glass control shifter here. It really looks nice and just adds a touch of class to the overall theme inside the vehicle. And of course, you have different buttons for your driving modes, your engine start stop, your traction control, and then a nice rotary dial here. Everything just feels nice to the touch in the center console here as well. Coming further back, you do have additional storage and another USB Type-C port. Now coming over to the steering wheel, this leather feels nice and smooth in your hands. You do have the M Sport steering wheel, which is part of the M Sport package. And then behind the steering wheel, you do have shift paddles for downshifting and upshifting if you want to drive manually. Now behind the steering wheel, of course, you have a digital instrument cluster. Again, BMW throwing the latest and greatest in tech at you. It's vibrant and easy to read, especially in direct sunlight. I've noticed it's really just clear at all times. So I really like that about this vehicle, how they've seamlessly integrated the tech inside here. There are competitors who just have two large screens here. Some people don't like that. Some people like the more traditional way, how there's actually a instrument cluster underneath a lit portion of the dashboard. So it kind of looks traditional, but also incorporates the latest in tech. Now coming over to the door panels, they're covered in the black leather. You have aluminum door handles. I will say they give you a glass shifter. I would have loved to see that same amount of quality go into the details that are found on the buttons here. They're just black plastic here, and I feel like it really doesn't do the car justice. Even if they're plastic, they could have been finished in silver to make it look like they're aluminum, but this flat black just doesn't do it for me, in my opinion. I do like how the ivory leather does break up the black on the door panels, but I wish that the buttons on the doors themselves would have been done in the glass, just like the shifter here, or a nice silver to give it a nice metallic vibe. Now coming over to the seats, there are 16-way power adjustable seats, and they are quite comfortable, as you would imagine. They do have a decent amount of side bolstering. You're not taking this vehicle on the track, so what is provided is more than adequate, but it overall is nice and soft to the touch. Now they do feature 3 levels of heating, but one thing I found to be just a little bit disappointing is that they don't feature 3 levels of ventilation. In an $86,000 vehicle, ventilated seats should be standard. Let's go ahead and check out the rear. Seating in the back of the X5 is quite spacious and comfortable for a mid-sized SUV. I'm sitting behind myself. I didn't move this driver's seat at all, so I do feel quite comfortable back here, and it is quite spacious. You can sit back here for hours on end. I will say the seating in the back is a little flat as it lacks side bolstering, so it's really flat, but overall it is comfortable. Now the seats, of course, do feature 3 levels of heating. No ventilation, as I mentioned up front, no ventilation there either. I wish this car had that, but sitting in the back overall is quite comfortable. Now, sitting in the back allows you to take full advantage of the panoramic roof. BMW refers to this as the panoramic sky lounge. It uses LEDs to create an intricate light pattern on the panoramic roof in low light conditions. It is pretty cool. Coming over to the door panels, this vehicle does feature the executive package, which gives you these manual blinds that can be raised or lowered. I do wish they were automatic. This isn't a cheap vehicle by anyone's standard, so to see this as manual is a little bit disappointing in my personal opinion. But overall, the quality, fit and finish and use of materials on the door panels back here is just as good as what you saw up front. And of course, you get plenty of storage. So the overall interior of this vehicle is pretty nice. The use of the materials is nice. The craftsmanship is nice. I do wish they did have the ventilated seats, but where this vehicle truly shines is how remarkably quiet the cabin is when this vehicle is on the road. Let's go ahead and get this X5 on the road so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so we're starting the driving portion. Before we get started, please make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button for us. That will definitely help us out with the metrics in the YouTube algorithm. So Isha, I think this is your first experience in a BMW X5, right?
No.
No? You've been in one before?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I believe my uncle has one. He has an X something.
He has an X something?
It's one of the large ones. I believe
it's probably an X5 then.
Yeah, it's a really good vehicle.
Okay.
I did like it. So it's not my first time in it, but yeah.
So this is a nice one. The first thing I noticed when driving this vehicle is how remarkably quiet it is.
It is.
I mean,
you know I pick up on road noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is just, it's a peaceful ride. I will say this is one of the quietest SUVs we've tested. And it even has...
No.
What?
No.
What?
Don't do my Bentayga like that.
Okay, that's another realm.
Oh, okay.
This is another realm.
You can't do my E-Class, the Mercedes, like that.
The GLE?
Yeah.
Okay, the GLE is quiet, but it's not as quiet as this. I got to be honest. I know you like the GLE, but this is quiet.
Okay.
So I just got to say that. So overall, the steering, the handling, the way everything feels, it's nice, smooth, and silky. And part of that is due to the air suspension that comes in this vehicle. So the ride quality is really on point.
It is phenomenal. I'm not even gonna lie. I honestly, you guys want to sit back, put my feet up on the dash, and go to sleep.
Right.
Like I'm comfortable.
Yeah, the ride quality is amazing.
From the seats, even wait a minute. I have to say it. I know we're not there yet. But even like the cushioning on the floor.
It's nice.
Yes. I've never felt anything like that. I mean, besides in something extravagant luxury.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, it should be like that in this price range.
Right. So you're looking around $86,000 or so for this vehicle. And part of the reason it's so expensive is because, of course, it's a BMW, but it's also a hybrid. So it has a combustion engine and an electric motor.
Okay.
If you just want to use the electric motor, you can go up to 30 miles range, right? And an 87 mile top speed on the electric motor. If you want to use both, you know, the hybrid, which is what it's for, you get a 50 mile per gallon equivalent range. So it's really nice in terms of if you're one of those people who like to be efficient and green, this might be something you want to consider. Now, one of my favorite features I mentioned earlier in the review is how they don't shout out hybrid every single place in the vehicle. Remember when we were doing a review, it was like on the Bolt or something like that. You were like, why do hybrid vehicles or electric vehicles have to look like X, Y, and Z? You don't see any of that in here.
Right.
This looks like a regular SUV, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it, for real. What do you think about the seating?
Like I said, it's great. It's very comfortable. I got the perforated seats. The only downside that I noticed, they're not ventilated.
Yeah, they're not ventilated, unfortunately. So,
you know, and to be honest with you, I had got really, really kind of hip to the ventilated seats.
Right.
Does it have heated?
Yeah, you have 3 levels of heating. They got you there.
Okay, but it's not.
In these Atlanta summers, you are going to need the ventilated seats.
Yeah, like I said, I just recently got hip to that and kind of started really appreciating that, you know, that feature in a vehicle.
Right.
So it is something that I would say is recommended.
Right, and if you're getting it in like a Hyundai Sonata for around 35 grand, there's really no reason why I shouldn't be in here.
Right. I agree.
So let's try the acceleration out.
Hold on to your...
So the acceleration is definitely there, 0 to 60 in about 5.3.
Was that 60? Did you go 60 that fast?
I didn't go 60 that fast. I'm just giving them the stats in case they want to know. I'm not going to do 60 on here.
I was about to be like, that wasn't that bad.
So that was about 53 or so.
Okay.
But the 0 to 60 time is there, right? So this does have enough get up and go for you to be comfortable on a daily drive. It has a nice plethora of tech. You have the head-up display system, which also is in color and shows you the different settings in the infotainment system. So you really don't even have to put your eyes on this touchscreen for all the features if you don't want to.
Gotcha.
Of course, you have this large touchscreen display. That's industry standard by now. But overall, you know, you got the wireless charging, you got the USB Type-C ports, 2 up front, 2 in the back, behind the seats as well. So as far as the technology is concerned, this car doesn't really leave you wanting.
Just looking at the overall design, the aesthetic, you know, it's nice. I think for, once again, the price range, and that's just up to maybe what you want. I'm pretty sure you could spec it out, you know, wood grain or carbon fiber. I'm not sure if carbon fiber is even offered in something like this. But this feels a little cheap to me here.
Yeah, I would have went with the wood here, honestly.
Yeah, that's just my preference.
That's your preference, yeah.
This little dial here, guys, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's pretty cool. It almost looks like a diamond. The only downside to that is that it can be blinding when you're driving. I don't know if it's getting you, but it's getting me.
No, it hasn't got me at all.
Yeah.
I do like the glass shifter. I like the way it looks.
It's really cool.
It looks nice.
But that's just something to think about, you know, when the sunlight hits it.
Yeah.
Because it's getting me.
Right, that's true. That is true, but I guess it really depends, like, what are the chances of that happening? It's good that you caught it.
3 times to me.
Well, there you go. That's why I have you in these reviews, because you're going to catch stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you think about the exterior design?
You know, it's nice. I'm trying to say, does it look like something that's futuristic or something that's like, whoa? No, it seems typical to BMW.
Right, no wow factor.
Right.
Just a typical mid-sized BMW sedan.
Right.
The X5, they've been making this for 20 years now.
Right, so it's not giving me anything new or,
right,
whoa, what is that on the road?
And that's fair, because this is like a daily commuter car. This is something people would use on the daily.
It's nice though.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. It's very nice. I like it.
How quiet it is is amazing to me.
Right. This, I could do a road trip in this.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Very nice.
And it has, like, if you are going on a long road trip, you have the lane keep assist. I've tried that in this car, and it, you know, kind of does the steering a little bit.
Oh, great.
And maintains the throttle and the speed and everything.
For someone like me, you know, I love to have cameras and stuff. Can you tell me what the camera options are in here?
So you do have an option for a 360-degree camera system.
Okay.
And this vehicle, this particular one, it does not have it.
Okay.
I was a little disappointed, I will say that.
That means that at this price point, I would have to get it optioned with that, which is going to be more.
Yeah, it's going to be more.
Okay.
Yeah.
One other question. I do not remember what it's called, but that rear view thing. Sorry.
The camera?
Yeah.
That's typically stuff you see in GM vehicles.
Oh.
So you're not going to...
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, and what about head-up display?
You do have a head-up display.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
You got that. So it does have decent tech. Watch, I'll do the lane keep assist feature here. It's reading the road. I've let go, and let's see. You see how it's steering a little bit
Give
here?
me a ah!
I'm not doing that, but you know, see how it steers there?
Yeah. Come on, you can give me a...
I'm not doing that. So
come on.
The car does do that. I did try it out earlier this week. It could use a little bit of improvement as far as that technology is concerned. I think everybody who's doing that could use a little bit of improvement. because depending on what road you're on, if you're on a freshly paved road, it'll do really well. If the paint is faded a little bit, it's going to struggle a bit.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, that's understandable.
Yep.
I do want to make mention that the front seating does translate to the back.
Right.
So it is very, very comfortable. That everything that you're getting up front, you're getting in the back as well.
Yep. So.
And let me not forget about this panoramic roof. Did we mention that?
I didn't mention that.
Oh, you didn't?
Well, I mentioned that before the driving portion, but go ahead.
Yeah, you know, you guys, I love a panoramic roof because usually you get like a small sliver like what you're seeing here, but this opens up all the way. And it just brings light to the back as well.
Exactly.
And it makes the vehicle feel like it's much larger than what it is.
Yeah.
And like it's great for like days that are like this. Bring the outside in.
Exactly, or even at night, it's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. If you notice, it has a little pattern on there.
I was going to ask you, what is that?
So they call it the panoramic sky lounge. So it has LEDs and it features a light pattern in the glass. It's really nice at low light conditions. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
All right.
So overall, that's the BMW X5 xDrive45e. The hybrid version of the traditional X5. Isha, thank you for joining us during this one.
Absolutely.
All right. So that was a brief overview of this 2021 BMW X5 xDrive45e. What do you think about this? Is a plug-in hybrid SUV something that would pique your interest now that you know you can get up to 30 miles pure electronic range or 50 miles per gallon equivalent in a mid-sized SUV? Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. If you find yourself interested in this BMW or any other, please reach out to my friend Tolli Poff. I've left her information in the description box below. Until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves.